Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Art of Yarn podcast. My name is Kyla Crawford, and I'm your host. Um, so, this is episode one, and this episode's mostly going to be explaining kind of like the layout and what to expect. I'm hoping to do one each month. Knitting is not a fast world. Same with like yarn arts. Like it takes time to make stuff. And I also want to include like the visual arts and music and just like arts in general and how they all interact and inspire each other. That I see gets glossed over on both ends of the spectrum, on the craft side and on the art side. And it's like, let's bring them together and make wonderful creative babies. Um, so yes, I'm looking at notes. If I'm like looking away, that's why. All right. So because I already like almost forgot that I'm also ADD, so I get distracted really easily, and I don't edit much. This episode won't be edited. I want to play around with my cameras. I'm playing around with a microphone today to see. Each episode will get better. You know how these things go. But it's like, I just want to get started. Let's get started and let's go. Yeah. So, each episode we will kind of do what I'm working on, what I'm thinking about, looking at, and, other things, even though they may not be exactly knitting related, but maybe they're informing my knitting in some way, or weaving or dyeing or spinning, whatever. I do a lot of different things. So the sewing, like I want this to be really encompassing. I really love seeing what people either buy or have. But at the same time, I hate to, I also want to appreciate what I already own. So I'm going to have ooh, look at the new thingy I got, and then also like, look at this thing that I already have in my stash and how amazing this material is. And I still don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I love it. So, and kind of like, let's go through what we already have and dust things off and use them. So when I get a project finished, it'll be, hey, look, I got something done. And then I also run a yarn dyeing business. So I will also have Kyla's Lab, which is my business name. Updates, colorways, things like that at the end, and maybe some life updates at the end. So if you aren't interested in that, you can just like, oh, bye, which is fine. I understand. Sometimes I don't want to hear people ramble about stuff, and sometimes I do. So I'm just going to move this down so you can see my hands moving, because I'm Italian, and I gotta talk Italian American, and I gotta talk with my hands. All right. So first section is called Your What? And that's what I'm working on. So, I have been working on the Moon Pie shawl for a very long time now, because I keep putting it up and down, and I was working on my master's degree, like finishing that while working on this. So I'm in the middle of a row. I had to stop for a while on it. Oh, I got like 50 things in here. Ooh, sorry, it's all tangled. You take those out before I go. Okay, so that's the back. This is the front, and it's on my needles. I'm in the middle of a row. This is way to not show a shawl properly. So it is a great shawl, great pattern. It's one that if you get just like bored easily, it changes enough. Like you're not doing the same, it's not just stockinette for eons, but it's also not difficult to put down and pick back up. The stitch pattern is really easy to keep track of. Like this thing, it's just knit with a purl once in a while. There you go. Super easy. So and it makes the knitting fun, and I'm always like, oh, I want to get to the next color now. I want to, knit the next color. So this, I'm trying to get this sample done for my yarn. This pinkish color, and this camera is not the best for colors, is Chibiusa. This grayish is called Beautiful Muck. This colorway here is a gray with neon speckles, and it is called Magical Girl. If I like Magical Girl anime, so there's a lot of my yarns refer to that. Okay. The reddish color that goes like orangish, reddish, neon. Let me actually show it. Just put it down. Gray is called Granny. This teal color is called Tourmaline. So it's been really fun knitting on this. I'm almost done. I'm on the last section, and it's like, okay, I needed a break. So I started a shawl with yarn out of my stash that I dyed. And the shawl is called, Walk in the Woods, and it is by Malaya Designs. I may have mispronounced that. You can find it on Ravelry, and it uses worsted weight yarn. So this yarn I got from Greenfield Village, and it just comes nude. It's just naked yarn, and I dyed it because I can do that. And it is from sheep that they raise in, sorry, let me explain what Greenfield Village is. Greenfield Village is a historical working history museum. It's a historical history museum. Yeah. Sorry. It is a live history museum. That's the word I needed. So, and they have a farm section and also the craftsman area, which I could spend weeks there. Like, I love that. Except for, I could spend a long time there until, I need air conditioning. And then I'm like, okay, I need modern conveniences. I like air conditioning and antibacterial things, So they raise their sheep, and then they have carding and spinning machines, historical spinning machines that they spin and sell their yarn. So I bought 3 skeins because I knew I could get something out of it, not knowing what it was. And then I dyed them up. And this is non-superwash, obviously. And it's 2-plied. So it's good for my brain's foggy right now. It usually is. It's good for color work. And then so I started the shawl, and I dyed one of the skeins in a gradient, except when I dyed it, the purple decided to move a lot further into the skein than I wanted it to. So it's not as gradient as I imagined it to be. I was hoping to have more teal at this tip, but that's okay. I still like it. So there'll be less speckles as it goes towards the other end with the patterning, with the mosaic patterning on it. So really easy, fun to knit. It's relaxing, and I haven't knit with worsted weight in a really long time because I live in Houston now, and it's hot, and I don't get to wear my woolens like I used to. So that's that. All right. So and then the other thing that I'm working on, it's on my loom, is I'm warping up some just plain linen rug warp to do some tapestry bags. Right now, the like 1970s like tapestry, like, oh, I just learned how to weave tapestries are really popular. And I've been seeing them like on sale on Etsy for what they see fit to sell them for. But what I don't like, it's like whatever, is that they're taking something from the past, getting inspiration, awesome, but then they're not changing it. It looks like you just took this and then just redid it verbatim, and it's boring. And that's weaving is so magical that it just breaks my heart seeing it's like, no, this could be, what else can you do with this? You can do so much with this. Like, let's play and explore and see what else you can do. So a couple things that I've been like, that's one thing I've been thinking about is like, okay, here's this thing from the past and it was like really popular, these like super raya-y, shaggly wall hangings, and I have some latch hook from the 70s that I bought, and I like have it on my wall. They're huge and like gaudy and amazing. And I love them, and it's like, well, I can still get inspired by them, but then I like, let's tweak it and make it 2017, not 1977. So it's really important to do. You know, you see something, tweak it, make it your own. The more you work your creative muscles, the better they get, and the easier it is to tweak it and make it your own, even if you start by changing the color when you knit a pattern. So like the Walk in the Woods pattern, that has it calls for 2 solids. Well, I'm like, well, luckily I know how to dye yarn. So I'm like, well, it'd be cool is if I had a gradient and it went from like the contrast color into the other color, the like main color, and then like, so I'm really excited about that because it's like it's different. It's changing it up. Yeah. Change things up. Lesson of the day. Yeah, creativity's and expanding creativity is really important to me. I like doing that. So, especially, yeah, it doesn't, yeah. So, it doesn't get taught in schools. I'm gonna go on my soapbox. It's trying not to, but it's happening. It doesn't get taught in schools like it should, and it's it's natural to have, like, kids are super creative, and then like school happens and life happens, and that creativity just gets stifled, and then like trying to get people's creative brains back, it takes a while, and it's such an important skill to have because, I mean, that's how I can fix things in life. Like, oh, something broke. How can I fix this? Let me think a couple different ways. Let's figure this out. Let's play with it. Let's experiment. It's like science, but less scary sounding because it's art. Art's not scary. You can be creative. Creativity is not scary. Everybody's got it. You just got to practice and observe and take time. Let things sink in. Sleep on it. Come back to it. Anyway, I should get down off my soapbox. So when I have a finished project, the segment will be called Finally, because it takes a while to get things done. And it's always like, oh, I finally finished it. You know, it's always like this expletive release of goodness. I haven't thought of like cute things exactly yet for shopping my stash. But I think Look What I Got is gonna be like, I just got this. Okay, I just thought of. I'll just. I think I might call things in my stash like my babies. No. Precious. You know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll happen. So I was going through my stash to. I wanted to get rid of some Knit Picks yarn that I just. After you get other yarns to dye and things, it's like, okay, I'm just not interested in this yarn anymore. I live in a different climate. I don't want to wear hand knit cardigan. Like, it's like 100 degrees and like 200% humidity, and it doesn't, yeah, like I want to cover myself with wool. No. And even in the winter, it's still really hot for me. So yeah, that's not 100% there yet. But that didn't make sense. It's still too hot. So anyway, so I was like going through my naked yarns, and they're just natural colors, and picking ones out to weave with to make the funky rug bags, or not rug. I call them rug because they use rug weaving techniques, but they're like funky wall hanging bags, and then you could like hang your purse on the wall, and then like, oh, I'm just gonna take it off and look amazing all the time. Okay, sorry, I'm really excited about the bags. And I found this one that I'm like, this is a Como wool, which is like, oh, it's super elastic and soft and squishy, and oh, it's so squishy. It's just great. And it came from Esther's Place in Illinois. I'm not sure if they're still around, because this is, I don't remember when I got it. It's trying to remember. It's been, it might be like 6 or 7 years old. And I just bought one skein, and it's 2 ounces, so I'll probably make like some wrist cozies or something with it. And it is just gorgeous. So this yarn is like co-op done. So, this is like as ethical as you can get for wool yarn or animal-based yarn, is like getting it from a small company who, like a co-op or a shepherd or shepherdess, whose animals are pets, and have it spun by a small mill and then sold and bought in a small shop. That is like as ideal as you can get, and you can feel the love in it. It's hand spun yarn feels completely different. Small mill spun yarn feels completely different. I know I sound crazy, but it does. When you step out of Joann's and Michael's, you'll see. It's an important step, and it really feeds the addiction. So make sure you have a budget for that addictive yarn, because it is like it's a material wealth. So the next thing is something I got for super cheap because it was just for donation to my guild. I am part of a couple guilds. Guilds are, and this is the greedy reason why going to guilds is important. The other important reason is like you learn from each other, you get to expand your creativity, you get to know what's happening and fresh in the weaving, knitting, yarny, good crochet goodness community, and sometimes you get free stuff. So they had a bunch of yarns and things that were donated to them, and they were giving them away. They called, or they messaged me to let me know, so I could pick stuff up for when I teach fibers. So hopefully I'll be able to teach that again. Anyway, so this is a mauve rayon, and I plan on over dyeing it because it is not color I personally love, but I also love to do ECOT, so I want to over dye everything. But like free cone, like not free, essentially free, like super cheap cones of yarn. This is a super fine linen. Super fine. And I want to weave some like scarves and shawls for the Houston weather, which these are perfect for. So that's exciting. Guilds, really, if you're not a member and you have some in your community, look up to joining. Usually they're not too expensive. To join the like Houston Hand Weavers Guild, they're $35 a year, and you get to go to meetings, and you can rent equipment and loan out books and like all this awesome community stuff, and it's great. And then the knitting guilds, it's $25, and like it's so important to like get out and spend time with people who enjoy doing the like hobbies you enjoy. It is. It's, you always forget it when you're not doing it. Like you're not, going out and finding people to talk to, and then when you do and share things with, and then it's like, oh, I didn't think of that. That's a great idea. Or, oh, that's cool. So, yeah. I wanted to get this episode out quickly because I'm going to Michigan tomorrow, and my mom and I are going to Stitches Midwest. That's exciting. So we're gonna go learn things Gonna make some yoga pants and some skirts. And taking a class on photographing. So I'm hoping they have some good tips for photographing really bright colors with a lot of subtle detail, because that's really hard to photograph. My camera likes to bleed out a lot of, misses a lot of colors. And then we're also going to the Michigan Fiber Festival and taking Shiori weaving. My mom needs it. She gets super, she'll get, she overthinks her projects sometimes. And then, like, she gets, like, stuck. So she needs, like, a good creative, like, just do it. Just put it in. Don't worry. To shake it up for her. So that would be fun. So I'm going to try and vlog for it, but I'm really bad about, like, taking photos. It's like, oh, it's an important event. I should probably take photos with this thing that I have in my pocket that's a mini computer. Totally forget. I'm like, oh, or I just get, like, enjoying the moment, and there we go. Usually that's what happens, and then I totally forget, and so we'll see. I will have my camera and my phone, so I can try and take, like, some nice shots on my DSLR and some less than ideal shots on my camera, on my phone. I'll try. I'll probably forget. But I wanted to kind of have everything set up so when I come back and we can just get rolling, and I can, share with you guys all the exciting new things I learned, because that's what podcasts are about. So yeah, that's more of a life update, I guess. No, because it's knitting or yarn fiber related. For Kyla's lab, I'm gonna be on vacation. So that's the update. Going on vacation, and then I'm still figuring out base name changes. I think I've got it. I think it's close. It's gonna happen. Okay. And then if any of you guys are interested in my yarns, it's kylaslab.com, one word. I'll have links in the description box below. And same with links to the Ravelry pages for the Moon Pie and Walk in the Woods shawl. Because I always like that, because I'm lazy and I can't spell. That's the main reason. I can't spell. And then I misspell it and I can't find it, and then I'm like, oh. Anyway. Dyslexic fun. Along with ADD. So life updates. Going on vacation. Really excited to get some, like, Midwest corn. And, like, fresh produce. Where my parents live, they've got farm stands, like, right down the road, and I miss that so much. Hopefully I'll stay on my diet, but we're going to Italy. There's going to be cannoli, and then my parents made some Italian sausages that, like, my mom grew up with, because her grandfather was a butcher. So I want to try those, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's not good for me. And all the delicious cheeses and things. Oh, it's gonna be gonna be so hard. My joints are either gonna be really angry and my tummy is gonna be really angry, or I'm just gonna be like, I miss you, Italian food. Gonna be sad. Oh, food's horrible and amazing. So yeah. On that note, that's an awkward, yeah. Thank you guys for watching and putting up with. Hopefully you stayed through the whole part, and hopefully you'll join me again next month. Hopefully I vlog. I'll try. So stitches, and you can see the goodies. Even though I'm on a diet, I don't need more things. But it's gonna happen. I mean, I gave myself an allowance, and yeah. But and I get to go to like yarn shops that I missed hanging out at and things. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna have sad husband and cats because they're staying home. They're gonna be so sad. Anyway, yeah, I'm one of those people. Bye. See you guys next month when we talk about stitches. Thank you for watching The Art of Yarn.